And this is, so let's just think of a couple of words, and then I'll go through some of the cards. And just see how these words land with you if you were to hear them. If a friend came at you with these words, or even if you just imagine yourself as a child. But I like to imagine myself like talking to another friend, because it's like, would I say this to a friend? And no, we're not teaching our friends. We're not responsible for our friends. We don't need to make sure that our friends do the right thing per se, but there's still a mutual respect that happens. And so just imagine that these words are said to you. If I said to you, well, I told you, what did you expect? What did you expect would happen? Like, has anybody ever heard a friend or a partner or their own parent, even if they were an adult, say that? Or you should have known what would happen. Okay, if you don't stop, I'm out. Or how about one more? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you that you let this happen. And now just ask yourself, not as a parent, but just as a human, would you move closer to a person who is speaking like this to you, or would you pull back? What would you guys do? I mean, I know what I would do. I'm just curious if anyone wants to share in the chat. You will close. Anjani says she would close down. I would close down. Or I'd be like, okay, well, I didn't think about it all the way through, maybe. Like I would become defensive. I would, and now if this is a relationship that means something to me, I hope that I would recognize that defensiveness in myself. Maybe breathe through it, let it land, figure out what I want to say next without being disrespectful. If that relationship means something to me, I would want to communicate differently. But if that was said to me, I would close down. I would pull back. And I wasn't like loud or necessarily mean. I was kind of just like judgmental and questioning. But we could say these things all different ways. And that's what I mean, that when I say that control can sound reasonable, it can sound even just neutral, even. Like I could say, well, I'm disappointed in you. That still would make me pull back. That's like, even though the person meant it in this way that is like, I could, I know that the intention is not necessarily to be judgmental, but it doesn't make me like feel any better. It wasn't loud. So none of the things I said were like loud or explosive or like screaming or yelling. And these are the kinds of words that are often framed as fair or firm, or I'm just being clear.